Hey folks, this is gonna be my third video that I'll be uploading tonight, and a lot of what I want to talk about in this video is related to actually a video I saw on Entrepreneur in Cars, his channel, where I think it was like the title is "You're Not Damaged or Broken," and it the reason I really want to talk about this is it ties into some stuff that's happened lately, including my last two videos. Waking up last night, or actually, I really wasn't asleep. Didn't really sleep last night. Um, but there's this whole like idea or feeling of being broken, um, and not having like a sense of belonging, and essentially tying it to a lot of self sabotaging beliefs relating to events that happened last semester and even this semester, and I think that's really the crux of it. That why I uh, I still feel the way I feel about those events, and why last night, when I was like about 4 a.m. and I just couldn't sleep, and I was having like almost I wouldn't say necessarily an anxiety attack or panic attack, but just like this whole feeling of just being overwhelmed by negative emotions rising up to the surface. And since I hadn't, looked at any pornography or fapt or what have you, I wasn't, trying to suppress those emotions. And it got pretty bad. And, like I said, I think the real deal is that um, it's been like since I turned, let's see, that was 2008, so I think I was 22, 23. Around that time, I've had to really face these feelings that in many ways I it's like I don't want to blame my parents, but many ways they came from in part from my parents, but in part from some bad decisions I made. I was at this school and I basically wasn't a good student. I didn't focus on my studies. I ended up having to leave from the school in part because of not focusing on my studies, but in part because of a traumatic experience I had being robbed at gunpoint, and then having what you call night terrors as a result, anxiety attacks, panic attacks. Um, that combined with bad study habits, it made it such that I had to withdraw from the university that I was at and go back to San Diego. And from that point onward, I felt broken. I felt broken, damaged, um, not worthy of love or acceptance. And ironically, like I went through most of my 20s trying to find female validation, and at the same time believing like I couldn't have that. And this kind of stuff has come up again and again and again. And the thing about last semester was that I had sort of that experience where it was like reality was telling me, you're not broken, you're not damaged, you're not unlikable, you're not undesirable. Um, you know, all hope is not lost, and so on. And I was continuing with my beliefs that you know that uh, that was the case. And in particular, and this is something that I covered in one of the other videos, but in particular, I remember certain moments where it was like my beliefs were running head on with reality, and I pushed reality away, which was this girl either wanting to go on dates with me, maybe be my girlfriend, um, because I was going through a breakup at the time, or at the very least be a friend of mine, And I pushed her away, I pushed other people away because I had those kind of beliefs. And the irony is like having those kind of beliefs is why PMO has become such an issue for me, because I will hold on to these negative emotions, I will believe in their reality, and they become real. And then of course I try to shove them away using PMO, using the internet, using social media, whatever the heck it may be that I'm using to not dwell on my emotions, not be in the present moment. And that's got to stop. It's one of the reasons why, if I go back to when I was like between 19 and like 21, I did a lot of meditation. I did a lot of, you could say like theurgy or ritual magic work, that sort of thing, spiritual training. And it was in between those times, even before that, when I was able to do that kind of stuff. Because I didn't have this emotional pain. I didn't have these sorts of traumas, to really resolve and contend with. I didn't have these sort of, to use more of a spiritual terminology, I didn't have these sort of inner demons. And I was willing and able to sit there and be with my emotions, be with my thoughts, be with my present state of being. And ever since that time ended, it's like I've had this desire to just get away from it all. And one other thing that's resulted from this is that it's like I'm carrying my parents in my mind. And to use sort of the internal family systems model, it's kind of like you have the parent aspect of your mind. And so often I find myself like daydreaming about having a debate or having to defend myself with or from my parents, even my sibling. And concerning one thing or that, even something as minor as me just not shaving. I decide to grow a beard. I can do that here without having to deal with constant criticism about that kind of thing. I can just decide to wear an orange shirt as opposed to a red shirt or a blue shirt without having to be criticized about that. I have a certain measure of freedom because of that. And that has lessened that significantly, but there's still that aspect of my mind that's like that. And that aspect of my mind is the thing that tells me, I'm a POS, I'm broken, I'm damaged, you know, um, that, in the words of my sister, no woman will ever love me. And having that experience of having a girl who actually still freaking liked me and wanted to go out on dates with me and was like so adamant wanting to be my girlfriend. Even if this other girl didn't want to be my girlfriend anymore, wanted to break up with me or whatever, well, she was there, and she wanted to be. Almost like having that, kind of having the friend who's a girl you put in the friend zone who's like, always there, like, kind of an orbiter, hoping that you and your girlfriend will break up because she's like madly in love with you. And even if your girlfriend can see how great of a guy you are, she can, and she's just, wanting to be with you. And those girls only stick around for so long. So that's what I've been facing, and I think that's what's really caused the greatest amount of what I call depression for me right now. Just realizing that, feeling that, and just like hating the fact that back then I didn't know that. Because I see now I've had this sort of drive to sabotage my own success in one way or another, because maybe I'm scared. Maybe I'm afraid of success. Maybe I'm afraid of what it would be like. Maybe I'm afraid of what the world will look like to me if I didn't have these problems. And maybe I feel on some level that remaining single or getting single, remaining single is the only way for me to be able to get away from my family for once and for all. Because succeeding at life, succeeding at relationships, it would open up more inroads for them to get back into my life and destroy things. That's what my grandmother did to my folks. My maternal grandmother, she did that. She tried to use myself and my sister as means of attacking my mother and by extension my father. And in so many ways I feel like the only way for it all to quote unquote end would be for me to, sadly enough, end up alone, you know? But, man, I hate this feeling of paranoia. You know, it's kind of like if you didn't have these kinds of problems, you know, like you wouldn't have anything that you felt you were hiding, and you wouldn't feel like you're having to put up some image for the world, and it'd be a heck of a lot easier to feel at peace. Okay, so you know, I'm pretty sure like the folks living here, like they have other things to do. They're not eavesdropping on me, but you know, there's that sort of voice in the back of your head that says that they are, you know, because of how embarrassed you are about the issues you have in your life. But anyways, to update you all, because some things did change since I recorded those last videos. I'm having to take the same approach that I did, you know, to Nofap that I took when I got on my longest streak, and that's by having different modes, different tiers, so to speak. Having like the easy tier and then the hard tier, and the hard tier is like straight up, you know, no PMO. The easy tier allows for occasional viewing of pornography and pornography substitutes, but absolutely no edging, absolutely no MO. And the interesting thing about that last time when I did that was that I found if I kind of made a deal with myself that okay, I'll let you watch these things, but you know, no MO, no edging. You can watch them, but you know, no actual physical acting on the desires that rise within you. That very quickly I started to lose interest in it. You know, because it was just me staring at something on a screen, and I wasn't actually doing. You know, it was that it stopped at that point. And eventually, I got to the point. I think it took me like 2 to 2.5 months in. But yeah, I think it's 2 months in, or roughly 2 months in, where I was just like, I was at that point where I felt like I was ready to go full bore hard mode and just like, you know, nothing whatsoever. And then I succeeded getting to 90 days on both easy mode and hard mode, and going even beyond that because, you know, it's this whole process of weaning myself off and then like kind of taking steps back to the point where I was able to sort of observe from like a higher level and see that I had issues I was running from, problems I was running from, and it wasn't about the fapping, it wasn't about even the pornography or the internet. It was deeper stuff, and I'm gonna try that again. So right now it's 4 days of what I call easy mode. It's day 0 of hard mode, and assuming I keep it easy mode and I don't MO or don't edge, you know, I know eventually it's going to get to the point where I'm feeling like ready to go full on hard mode, and I will have built up enough willpower and such that, you know, things won't be an issue. Because for me to try to dive in cold turkey, it seems like too much, you know. Sort of an all or nothing mentality when you do that. And that's really not how breaking addictions or breaking bad habits work. You know, it's not like if you're trying to quit eating too many chocolate chip cookies, you know, and you go eat 1 or 2 more than you were supposed to eat, that suddenly your progress is all gone and might as well go and eat a bunch of, you know, junk food and put on that weight again. You know, it's not like that. It's a long-term process, and it's all gradual. So that's where I'm at right now. Really need to get on some homework. I've gotten more of this paperwork filled out. Most of it's actually done, I think. I've been working on that because I've got to get the stuff into the chemical engineering department and then get them, to pass it on to financial aid. I gotta get it in by the 25th. And hopefully that will convince them that I have I kept myself enough on track that I can get my financial aid back. Trying to think about what they will do if they decide not to, but that's one of those things I need to stop dwelling on failure and the feeling of failure and this sort of feeling overwhelmed, in the negative sense, because I found that's something that freezes me up and that prevents me from getting any work done, period, which definitely does not help, because that's another self-sabotaging belief, dwelling on failure and feeling like no matter what you do, failure is imminent, and eventually you do get to the point where you just give up, and whether we're talking about Nofap or talking about other issues in life, that's not the way to go. So, anywho, I think that's it for me right now. This is my third video for today. I haven't really uploaded that much lately, but I just had a bunch of thoughts and things happened, and I'll just see where things go with the girlfriend. I'll just see where things go with any other girls, because I'm having to just put my priorities, where they need to be, and get my academics, my finances taken care of, and sometimes that does mean not talking to the girlfriend for a few days because she's being all emo and needy and even emotionally abusive. So um, eventually sort that thing out and see where things go. But making sure you don't step over into the category of cheating, because yeah, it's just not the thing you want to do. So not that I think that I don't have any opportunity to do that, this time around, because I did what I did, I said what I said, and I guess you gotta live with it. So, anywho, I'll see you around, folks. Thanks for watching. Bye.